Hi, and welcome back. So I called the DJs idiots a while ago. And yes, I know, not all of you are idiots. Apologies for maligning all of you together. Most of you took it in good humour, as intended. Some of you didn't. I really got under the skin of one guy who keeps returning to comment and reply to comments, apparently oblivious to the fact that he's just helping to boost the video. But some of you made a criticism which, on the surface, seems plausible. The argument goes something like, old farts criticised Jimi Hendrix for using distortion. Loudness is just the modern aesthetic, and you just don't get it. So yes, I'm an old fart. I won't argue that part. But I promise I'm not trying to make your music any less aggressive or impactful. Exactly the opposite, in fact. I've seen a few videos recently that talk about how to make a loud mix. And while I disagree with the basic premise that loudness should be your goal, I do agree with them on one point. The process of getting a mix up into the low single figures loudness region starts well before the mastering stage. Your arrangement has to be on point. Not a single bit of clutter or junk can be tolerated. You need to ruthlessly cut out anything that might distract from the main elements of the track. The sound design has to be stellar, with every part really popping and grabbing your attention. And of course the mix has to be flawless, with every frequency perfectly nipped and tucked into place, and probably a ton of exciting bus processing to add energy and impact. And guess what? That's where all the energy and impact of the production comes from. The final limiting, to achieve those crazy low single-figure integrated loudness readings, only serves to reduce that energy and impact. One of those tutorials I watched even explicitly acknowledged this. The final limiting reduced the clarity and punch he'd worked so hard to dial in, just so he could hit -3 or -2 or some crazy target like that on the loudness meter. So come on, EDM producers, make up your minds. Is this a contest to see who can make the loudest mix that people can still bear to listen to? Or do you want to make mixes that grab people's attention and pull them onto the dance floor? Now, I wasn't going to respond to these comments. I thought I'd said all that needed to be said in my Idiot DJs video, and in the FabFilter Loudness series that originally triggered them. And I was going to just let it stand. But then I saw this comment.
Dan is mad because he can't produce a punchy mix at around -4 LUFS, like we drum and bass producers are able to. Just an old, mad boomer.
Well, that's fighting talk. There's only one possible response to that. I'm going to make the loudest mix ever. And what's more, it's going to be the dirtiest, gnarliest, most aggressive one to boot. I won the loudness war. How do you like those onions? The integrated loudness of this mix is +2.5 LUFS. Every single sample is full scale ±1. Beat that, you little millennial snowflake. I'm actually tempted to release this mix as a protest against the lack of standards in the industry. But I'm slightly worried I'll get sued by all the people who destroy their speakers with it. Legal advice in the comments, please. However, don't bother asking me how I achieved these loudness numbers. I've no intention of encouraging any more of this kind of silliness. But there is one last point I can make with this. All the major platforms currently use integrated loudness only for their normalization, including YouTube. That means that because I've kept the average levels fairly low for this video so far, I can finish off by playing you this mix at full volume without the huge amounts of attenuation it's getting at the moment, and YouTube will allow it. as long as the integrated loudness of the whole video remains at or below -14 LUFS. What a great way to find out who's paying attention and who's dozed off to the sound of my voice. You might want to get ready with that volume control. Aha, of course I wouldn't do that to you. I genuinely might have fried some expensive speakers. Did I get you though? Did you leap up to grab a volume knob? Lol. Anyway, I've done it now. I've taken it to the logical conclusion and made the loudest mix. So you can all stop this silly loudness competition, right? That's all for now. Thanks for watching.